Welcome back on this Thursday morning. 5:10 this morning, and we're off to a dry start. Still some clouds lingering, but the system that brought us the rain yesterday is far enough away where we've got some drier air blowing in. Temperatures taking a dip this morning. It's a chilly start. Well, temperature readings will manage to warm, however, this afternoon back in the 60s where we should be for this time of year. And then fast forward to our next big thing that we're monitoring. Obviously, it is that Arctic cold front that is expected to move in sometime on Saturday morning. Temperatures will be falling into the 40s and 50s behind that front, but that freeze line doesn't get into the area until we get into late Sunday night into Monday. That's when temperatures are projected to fall below freezing. And in addition to that, an ABC13 weather watch, not just for freezing temperatures, but the potential for a hard freeze, and still dealing with some signs that we could get an ice and snow mix here early next week. But there's also new model data where we avoid the frozen stuff and it's just coming in as chilly rain. I'll have the latest on that, show you both of those models coming up in just a few minutes.
And speaking of the cooler temps, I mean, they're with us now, but definitely not as chilly as we're going to see, right, Alita?
Yeah, we've got a big drop in temperatures, noticeably some of the coldest air we've seen so far this season as those temperatures dip below 32 degrees as we get into Monday. But for the race itself, it looks like temperature readings by 7 a.m. will be hovering right around 35 degrees. That breeze, as John was mentioning, is going to make a huge difference out of the north at 25 miles per hour with wind chill values in the 20s. And it's worth mentioning that obviously where this race is going to take place is around downtown. So you've got the wind tunnels that are going to offer those sporadic bursts. So for those of you that are not just running, but also spectators that are headed out there, be prepared that you're going to get stuck in some of these wind tunnels where it's going to feel breezier than what the actual wind speed might be in that particular location. So just bundle up, make sure you're preparing for what could be a very chilly, bitter cold start to the race, at least for a few hours before those temperatures slowly start to warm. This morning, temperature readings are running about 5 to 10 degrees cooler compared to yesterday. Definitely jacket worthy this morning. Thankfully, we don't have much of a breeze. Those winds today should be anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour, but there are signs that the winds will be steadily picking up for tomorrow and through the weekend in the wake of that Arctic front. Now, ahead of that front, those winds will slowly start to increase tomorrow. For today, a light breeze coming in out of the north, and it's drawing in a piece of cooler air. We've got 33 degrees right now in Cleveland. Also, some drier conditions. We'll get the return of some sunshine today mixed in with some clouds. So that should promote some warmer temperatures. Temperature readings today back up into the mid-60s, followed by overnight lows dipping into the upper 30s to low 40s. So equally as cool, if not a little bit cooler in some spots as we get into Friday morning. What about the rain chances with tomorrow's Arctic front? It does look like the dry air that's in place today may hold tough for tomorrow to squeeze out any moisture. Future track is showing maybe a few spotty rain showers, so we've left in at least a 20% chance for some wet weather. But once the front moves through itself, it doesn't have a lot of moisture to work with, so it moves through fairly dry while you're sleeping late Friday night or early Saturday morning, and then moves off the coast. There'll still be some clouds lingering. I mentioned the wind speeds. I pause the clock at 2 o'clock on Friday, and you can see that the winds will start to pick up, gusting anywhere between 25 to 30 miles per hour. Should stay below any sort of wind advisories, and then going into the weekend may see a little burst of wind, especially as we get into the overnight hours Saturday and into Sunday morning. Now, let's talk about the ABC13 weather watch beginning on MLK Day, lasting through Wednesday. Due to two impacts, we've got the freezing temperatures, the hard freeze temperatures. In addition to that, wind chill values in the 20s, but also the potential for some ice and snow, which you can see there's actually the probability for ice is looking a little bit higher. Let's first talk about those temperatures. Temperature readings on Saturday morning will start off mild, and then behind the front, temperature readings will fall. Already seeing the freeze line just passing the Lubbock area early Saturday morning, and then as we get into Sunday morning, that freeze line is hovering just above Interstate 10. We'll see that freeze line drifting up to the north during the day on Sunday, only warming into the 40s, and then by Monday morning is when that freeze line will be just hovering our coastal communities and get pushed even further to the south as we get into the Tuesday timeframe. So really, it looks like the peak of this cold snap is going to happen on Tuesday morning. I mentioned a couple scenarios here of whether or not we're going to see frozen precipitation. This is the European American model. The European model remains pretty aggressive on bringing the Pacific moisture overlapping that cold air, bringing kind of this snow and maybe even freezing rain mix closer toward the coastline. Now the GFS, the American model, is not as excited about frozen precipitation. Yesterday, this area of low pressure was pushing to the east. Now it looks like that low pressure system is going to be hovering somewhere out to the west, and the milder air blowing in may win out and keeping it mostly rain instead of making that switch over. So there's still some uncertainty in the modeling, even though we're getting a little bit closer, but we have left in at least a 40% chance for some ice and snow due to how long we've seen the modeling keep that frozen precipitation in place. Now, if it changes, of course, we'll let you know. That's why we've issued that ABC13 weather watch, because this is something that's going to continue to change and something we'll need to watch in the days ahead, ladies. Not lazies. You're not lazies. You're
I can be lazy some days, but anyway, not today.
This weather makes me kind of lazy.
Amen.
You just want to bundle up and stay indoors and stay home and put the heater on. So I get it.